Most people over 60 believe eggs are one of the best protein foods you can eat. I believe that too, for years, and I mean decades. My mornings looked exactly the same. A quiet kitchen, a hot cup of coffee, and 2 eggs on the plate. It felt healthy. It felt responsible. It felt like I was doing the absolute right thing for my aging body. But during a routine checkup not too long ago, my doctor asked me a simple question that completely caught me off guard. He looked over his glasses and said, "Do you actually know how much protein eggs have?" I smiled. I was confident. I said, "Of course I do, Doc. I eat 2 of them every single morning." He didn't argue with me. He didn't tell me I was wrong. He just nodded slowly, with that knowing look doctors always seem to have. That night, I went home and looked it up, just out of curiosity, and what I discovered honestly shocked me. 2 large eggs contain far less protein than I had spent years assuming. Don't get me wrong, they aren't terrible. They are a good food, but they don't provide nearly enough protein to protect and preserve our muscles as we get older, especially after we cross that 60-year milestone. And here is the part that really opened my eyes. There are simple, ordinary foods, things you can find in almost any regular grocery store, that contain 4, even 5 times more protein than eggs. Yet, for some reason, most people our age have never heard about them, let alone added them to their weekly grocery carts. So, in this video, I am going to show you 10 of those exact foods. They are simple, budget-friendly, and incredibly easy to add to your daily meals. And the one at the very top of our list, well, it might completely change the way you think about breakfast forever. But before we jump into the list, I'm really curious about your current routine. Do you still eat eggs most mornings too? Or maybe you've already started switching things up. If you do eat them, or if you have a favorite breakfast alternative, just let me know down in the comments section. I read every single one of them. Now, let's start with number 1, Greek yogurt. Specifically, the non-fat, strained version, and it is surprisingly powerful. You have probably heard 100 times that Greek yogurt is good for you. It's a popular health food, but most older adults do not realize just how much muscle-supporting protein is packed into the non-fat, strained version. When you look at the numbers, it becomes crystal clear, with 10.3 grams of protein per 100 grams. Greek yogurt far surpasses a standard boiled egg, which offers just about 6.3 grams. Think about that for a second. That is nearly double the protein, with none of the extra fat or dietary cholesterol. So, what makes Greek yogurt so incredibly unique compared to regular yogurt? It all comes down to the traditional way it is made. This specific type of yogurt is filtered. Not once, not twice, but 3 separate times. This intensive straining process removes a massive amount of the liquid whey and the lactose. What you are left with is a thick, velvety, creamy yogurt that is highly concentrated in protein, and significantly more gentle on an aging digestive system. The science backs this up beautifully. A 2020 study published in the peer-reviewed journal Nutrients found something truly remarkable. Older adults who consumed at least 20 grams of dairy-based protein per day, which is roughly 1 cup of this yogurt, preserved 25% more of their precious muscle mass over the course of 12 weeks. And here is the kicker. That benefit was amplified even more when they paired that protein intake with a simple, daily walking routine. That is real, measurable, everyday protection against sarcopenia, which is the medical term for age-related muscle loss. Even better, Greek yogurt is incredibly easy to add to your existing daily routine. Many people who suffer from mild lactose sensitivity find that they can digest strained Greek yogurt perfectly well, because so much of the lactose is removed during production. But you do have to be a bit careful at the store. When you are shopping, make absolutely sure you choose the plain, non-fat version. Do not buy the versions loaded with syrupy fruit mixtures, artificial sweeteners, or added refined sugars, because those will completely cancel out the health benefits. Want to boost the muscle and joint benefits even more? It's simple. Stir in a spoonful of ground flax seeds for healthy fats. Throw in a handful of fresh blueberries or raspberries for antioxidants, or blend it directly into your morning smoothie. If you don't like sweet breakfasts, you can easily turn it into a savory dip by adding garlic and herbs, or use it as a thick, creamy base. For a healthy homemade salad dressing, it's versatile, it's convenient, and it works. Now, get ready, because up next is a true protein powerhouse that you probably already own. In fact, it may have been sitting completely untouched in the dark corners of your kitchen cabinet for years. 2. Cooked chickpeas, also known as garbanzo beans. These humble legumes are a goldmine for healthy aging. Per 100 grams, cooked chickpeas provide around 11.2 grams of clean protein, quietly outperforming eggs when it comes to supporting and rebuilding aging muscles. But what makes chickpeas even more valuable for someone over 60 is that they do not just provide protein. They are also incredibly rich in dietary fiber, something that eggs do not contain at all. Not even a single gram. That extra fiber helps support a healthy digestive tract, regulates your blood sugar levels to prevent energy crashes, and actively works to reduce chronic, low-grade inflammation in the body. All of those factors play an absolutely vital role in maintaining your physical strength and muscle integrity as the years go by. Let's look at what the research says. A landmark study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that older adults who began replacing a portion of their animal-based protein with high-quality plant sources, such as legumes, experienced up to 26% less muscle loss over time. The primary reason for this: lower systemic inflammation and a much healthier balance of gut bacteria. Those are two critical health metrics that legumes help improve completely naturally. But that is not the only trick chickpeas have up their sleeve. They are also an excellent bioavailable source of magnesium. Magnesium is an essential mineral that supports proper muscle contraction, nerve function, and faster physical recovery after activity. Without enough magnesium in your daily diet, your muscles can easily become weaker, tighter, more prone to painful nighttime cramping, and easily fatigued by simple, everyday tasks like walking up the stairs or carrying groceries. To get the absolute most nutritional benefit out of chickpeas, it is always best to buy them dry and soak them overnight before cooking them. Why? Because this simple step softens the outer shell, dramatically improves overall digestion, and significantly reduces the anti-nutrients, which increases the total amount of protein and minerals your body can actually absorb. Once they are cooked, there are endless, easy ways to use them in your kitchen. You can blend them into a rich, creamy homemade hummus with a splash of extra virgin olive oil and fresh lemon juice. You can toss them with a bit of paprika and roast them in the oven for a crunchy, satisfying snack. Or you can simply throw a handful of them into your favorite hearty winter stews, soups, and curries. But up next on our list is a food that is even smaller in size, yet surprisingly much more powerful. Let us talk about the protein-packed bite that most people walk right past in the grocery aisle. 3. Cooked quinoa. Quinoa is often called an ancient grain, but it's actually a tiny, nutrient-dense seed. Once it is cooked, quinoa provides about 14 grams of protein per 100 grams, but here is the most important word you need to remember: it is a complete protein. Unlike the vast majority of plant-based foods, quinoa naturally contains all 9 of the essential amino acids. These are the building blocks of protein that your body absolutely cannot produce on its own, meaning you must get them directly from the food you eat. Because it has all 9, it means your muscles can immediately use the protein in quinoa to rebuild, recover from daily wear and tear, and grow stronger over time. One key reason quinoa stands out specifically for older adults is its exceptionally high lysine content. Lysine is an essential amino acid that plays a massive role in muscle tissue repair, optimal calcium absorption to protect your bones, and the natural production of collagen for healthy joints and skin. According to a fascinating 2022 study published in the journal Nutrients, older adults who simply added a serving of quinoa to their daily meals saw a 9% improvement in measured leg strength within just 8 weeks. That was compared to a control group of adults who were eating plain white rice instead. Think about that. A nearly 10% increase in functional leg strength just by changing a side dish that can mean the difference between struggling to get out of a chair and standing up with absolute ease. To make quinoa even more effective for your body, I recommend giving it a good rinse or soaking it overnight before cooking. This simple step helps reduce natural outer compounds known as saponins. Saponins can sometimes give quinoa a slightly bitter taste, and more importantly, they can interfere with nutrient absorption in your gut. Soaking improves how much of the protein your body can actually absorb and utilize. For even more nutritional value, don't just cook your quinoa in plain water, try cooking it in a high-quality bone broth or a low-sodium vegetable stock. You can also stir in a little bit of turmeric and a pinch of black pepper while it simmers to give it a mild, powerful anti-inflammatory boost. Need some simple ways to use it. Quinoa works beautifully as a warm base for grain bowls, as a savory alternative to morning oatmeal, or mixed directly into vegetable stir-fries. You can top a bowl of quinoa with mushrooms, leafy greens like spinach or kale, or even slide a soft-boiled egg right on top for an absolute protein-rich, satisfying meal. And the best part is, just 3/4 of a cup per day can noticeably support your muscle recovery and daily energy levels, but only when you eat it consistently. Now, coming up next is a protein source loved by high-performance athletes, yet strangely overlooked by the majority of older adults. And once you hear what it can do for your body, you may never look at it the same way again. 4. Pumpkin seeds, sometimes called pepitas. These little green seeds are a nutritional powerhouse, with a staggering 19 grams of protein in every 100 grams. Pumpkin seeds provide nearly twice the total protein you would get from eating the exact same amount of eggs. But this is where they truly leave eggs in the dust. It is not just about the raw amount of protein. Pumpkin seeds are also incredibly rich in magnesium, iron, and zinc. These are 3 vital minerals that many older adults tend to be chronically deficient in, especially after crossing the age of 60. Why are these specific minerals so absolutely critical for your physical well-being? Let's break it down. As we mentioned, magnesium supports proper muscle contraction and helps prevent those painful, sudden muscle cramps. Iron helps produce hemoglobin, which delivers life-giving oxygen directly to your muscles so they can function properly and recover from daily movement. And zinc plays a key, foundational role in rebuilding damaged muscle tissue and keeping your body's cellular recovery systems working efficiently. Without enough of these 3 nutrients in your system, even a very high-protein diet can fall completely short. Your body simply cannot process or use protein effectively when those key mineral keys are missing from the lock. A study published in the trusted Journal of Medicinal Food discovered that older adults who incorporated pumpkin seeds into their daily diet reduced systemic muscle inflammation by up to 38% in just 12 short weeks. That is not just simple maintenance, that is a massive, meaningful reduction in the hidden chronic inflammation that gradually and silently breaks down your muscle tissue over time as you age. To get the absolute most benefit from these seeds, make sure you choose raw, unsalted pumpkin seeds when you are at the store. This helps you completely avoid unnecessary added sodium and heavy processing methods that can degrade their delicate nutritional value. They are incredibly easy to use too. You don't have to cook them at all. Just sprinkle a handful of them over your morning Greek yogurt, add a spoonful into your daily blender smoothie, or blend them up into a creamy, homemade seed butter that is both deeply delicious and rich in muscle-building protein. Now, coming up next is a food that is usually associated with strict vegan diets or gym meal prep containers, but when it is used the right way, it can become an incredibly powerful tool for older adults who want to maintain their physical strength, balance, and independence. 5. Tempeh. With a robust 20 grams of protein per 100 grams, tempeh goes well beyond what eggs can ever provide. But what truly sets it apart from other options is not just the sheer quantity of the protein, it is the exact way that protein is delivered to your body. Unlike tofu, which is made from processed soy milk, tempeh is created from whole, intact soybeans that have undergone a traditional fermentation process. That single, natural process changes everything. Fermentation not only makes tempeh significantly easier for older adults to fully digest without gas or bloating, but it also helps unlock extra locked-away nutrients that protect your delicate muscle tissue from age-related decline. Tempeh contains all 9 of the essential amino acids, making it another excellent complete plant protein. It is also naturally rich in an amino acid called leucine. Leucine is incredibly important because it acts like a biological switch that triggers muscle protein synthesis, which is just the scientific term for the process your body uses to grow and repair muscle. This becomes especially important after the age of 60 because of a condition called anabolic resistance, where our aging bodies naturally become less efficient at responding to the protein we eat. Leucine helps overcome that resistance. But there is another massive benefit that many people completely overlook, and that is gut health. Because tempeh is a fermented food, it contains beneficial prebiotics and compounds that support a healthier, more diverse digestive system, and that matters immensely because your gut microbiome plays a major role in how well your body can actually break down, absorb, and use the protein you feed it. A major study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that older adults who possessed a more diverse and healthier gut microbiome naturally maintained 18% more lean muscle mass over the course of 1 year than those with poorer gut health, even when their overall diets and protein intake were otherwise completely similar. So tempeh does not just feed your muscles directly, it also helps support the optimal digestive environment your body requires to make better use of all the food you eat. Want to add it to your weekly meals? It's very easy, just slice it thin and pan-sear it in a skillet with a tiny splash of low-sodium tamari or a bit of apple cider vinegar. This brings out a rich, deeply savory, almost nutty flavor without having to rely on added sugars or heavy inflammatory oils. You can crumble it up into veggie stir-fries, layer it into healthy lunchtime sandwiches, or sprinkle it right over your dinner salads. Its firm, satisfying texture makes it an excellent, hearty substitute for meat in almost any dish you enjoy. Up next, we are moving into a whole new, fascinating category of protein, one that is quietly becoming an absolute game changer for people over 60 who want to optimize their health. 6. Spirulina per 100 grams. This vibrant blue-green algae delivers an absolutely mind-boggling 29 grams of protein, which is nearly 3 times the total amount found in standard eggs. But here is where it gets really interesting for seniors. Clinical studies show that up to 85% of the protein found in spirulina is highly bioavailable. That means your digestive tract can absorb it and your muscles can use it much more rapidly and efficiently than many traditional animal-based proteins, which require a lot of stomach acid and digestive energy to break down, because spirulina contains all 9 essential amino acids, including a very generous dose of that all-important leucine. It sends a powerful, immediate chemical signal to aging muscles that it is time to repair and rebuild. But spirulina offers far more than just raw protein. It also helps your body wage war against one of the most dangerous, silent enemies of muscle health in older adults, and that is chronic inflammation. Chronic, low-grade inflammation slows down muscle repair and accelerates the rate of muscle wasting. Fortunately, spirulina contains a unique, deeply pigmented antioxidant compound called phycocyanin. A 2022 study published in Nutrients discovered that phycocyanin could reduce C-reactive protein, which is a primary medical marker of systemic inflammation in the human body, by a stunning 32%. At the same time, spirulina has been shown to help naturally increase nitric oxide levels in your bloodstream. Nitric oxide helps relax and widen your blood vessels, which supports better overall circulation. This means that oxygen and vital nutrients can reach and repair your muscle tissues much more effectively throughout the day. Now, you do not need to force down large, unpalatable amounts of this green powder to reap the rewards. Not at all. One of the absolute easiest ways to use spirulina is to simply add 1 single teaspoon of it into your morning blender smoothie along with a banana, some fresh spinach, and a few walnuts to mask the earthy flavor. You can also stir it gently into a warm bowl of oatmeal after it has finished cooking, or mix it into homemade energy bites made with mashed dates, seeds, and natural almond butter for a quick, protein-rich afternoon snack. Just 1 teaspoon a day, used consistently over time, can lead to noticeable improvements in your subjective muscle strength, daily energy levels, and physical recovery within just a few weeks. If this video has been helpful and informative for you so far, please take a brief second to tap that like button and subscribe to our channel so you do not miss the powerful foods coming up next on our list. 7. Hemp seeds, sometimes called hemp hearts. These soft, tiny seeds are a true nutritional miracle. With around 35 grams of pure protein per 100 grams, hemp seeds stand as one of the most protein-dense plant foods on the entire planet. Unlike many other plant sources that require pairing with other foods, hemp provides all 9 essential amino acids in the exact, ideal proportions your body needs to build and repair muscle tissue. That is an incredibly rare quality in the plant world. Even quinoa, which is widely praised as a complete protein, does not match the optimal amino acid profile of hemp seeds quite as closely. Why does that specific detail matter so much after the age of 60? Because as we get older, our digestive tract naturally produces fewer enzymes and less stomach acid, making us less efficient at absorbing and using protein. A comprehensive 2021 medical review published in Frontiers in Nutrition found that older adults who regularly included complete plant proteins, like hemp seeds, in their daily meals showed significantly better muscle retention, faster recovery times after physical exercise, and experienced far less daily fatigue than those who relied primarily on incomplete plant protein sources. Furthermore, hemp seeds are an exceptional source of essential omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acids, including a rare, highly beneficial type called gamma-linolenic acid, or GLA for short. This unique fatty acid has been strongly linked in clinical research to better joint mobility, lower overall inflammation, improved cognitive function and mental clarity, and robust cardiovascular support. All of those benefits are absolutely vital pillars for healthy, vibrant aging. So, how do you use them in your daily life? The absolute best and easiest way is to eat them completely raw. You don't need to cook them or grind them up at all. Just 1 single tablespoon can go a long way. You can sprinkle them over warm roasted vegetables, stir them right into your morning oatmeal, or blend them into your favorite smoothies. They have a very soft, delicate texture and a mild, nutty flavor that makes them incredibly easy to sneak into almost any meal without altering the taste. And because they are so soft and structurally simple, hemp seeds are remarkably gentle on older, more sensitive stomachs. One very important kitchen tip to remember: avoid cooking hemp seeds over high heat. Their delicate, healthy essential oils can easily break down and oxidize, causing them to lose a large portion of their incredible nutritional value. Keep them raw, keep them cool, and store them in the refrigerator to keep them fresh. Up next, we are moving to a unique protein that does not just support basic recovery, it may actually help rebuild your physical strength at a deep cellular level, and yet almost no one over the age of 60 is currently eating it. 8. Seitan. Now, let me clarify right away. This is not a synthetic supplement or a highly processed chemical powder, also frequently referred to as wheat meat. Seitan is a dense, savory, meat-like food that is made entirely from vital wheat gluten, which is the main protein found in wheat, and it delivers an absolutely jaw-dropping 39 grams of protein per 100 grams. That massive number puts it right alongside and often ahead of some of the highest protein cuts of animal meat available, but with a few massive advantages for seniors. It comes with 0 saturated fat, 0 dietary cholesterol, no digestive heaviness, and none of the systemic inflammation that frequently accompanies heavy red meat products. Here is exactly why seitan stands out so prominently for people over 60. It is incredibly easy for an aging body to break down and fully utilize. During the natural process of making seitan, almost all of the starch and the complex fiber are washed away from the wheat flour. What is left behind is a highly concentrated, pure source of protein that is especially helpful for aging digestive systems, which often have a much harder time extracting nutrients from heavy, complex, or tough animal meats. In fact, clinical research published in the journal Clinical Nutrition ESPN in 2022 discovered that older adults who included high-quality plant-based protein isolates, such as seitan, in their diets retained 21% more lean muscle mass than those who followed a more traditional, mixed animal and plant diet. So it isn't just a filling meal, it is highly functional medicine for your muscles. Because seitan is naturally extremely low in both fat and carbohydrates, it is also an incredibly smart, safe choice for individuals who are actively managing type 2 diabetes, high cholesterol, or struggling with age-related weight gain. It provides serious, concentrated muscle fuel without causing large blood sugar spikes or adding empty, unnecessary calories to your day. When it comes to cooking in the kitchen, seitan is also incredibly versatile and fun to work with. Its chewy, deeply satisfying texture makes it feel and taste much more like traditional meat than either tofu or tempeh ever could. You can slice it up thin into savory stir-fries, pan-sear it in a skillet with some fresh garlic and olive oil, grill it up into savory strips, or roast it in the oven with your favorite healthy home-made marinade for a flavorful plant-based barbecue. To increase its nutritional value even further, try serving your seitan alongside vegetables that are highly rich in vitamin C, such as red bell peppers, broccoli, or fresh kale. Why? Because the non-heme iron naturally present in seitan is absorbed significantly more effectively by your body when it is paired with a good source of vitamin C. And if that food surprised you, hold on tight, because up next is a food that goes even further. Aged for over a year, it literally melts in your mouth, and thanks to its unique molecular structure, it may help your body absorb high-quality protein even more efficiently than a piece of steak. 9. Parmesan cheese. Yes, you heard that right. Real aged Parmesan cheese. It provides an incredible 42 grams of protein per 100 grams. That means it contains significantly more protein than eggs, most premium cuts of beef, and more than twice the total protein found in fluid milk or cottage cheese. But the real, true advantage for someone over 60 is not just the massive amount of protein it contains, it is how easily and effortlessly your body can actually digest and use it. Because traditional Parmesan cheese is aged for anywhere from 12 to 36 months, a natural process occurs. The proteins inside the cheese are already partially broken down by enzymes into free, easily absorbable amino acids that makes it incredibly easy to digest. This becomes profoundly important as we age because our body's natural production of digestive enzymes begins to slow down significantly after 60. A 2019 study published in the journal Nutrients found that older adults absorbed the vital amino acids from aged cheeses, like Parmesan, nearly 30% more efficiently than they did from regular, fresh meat. That means you get more direct nutritional benefit out of every single bite you take, with significantly less strain and energy required from your digestive tract. Furthermore, Parmesan is packed with a generous amount of leucine, that golden amino acid your body requires to trigger muscle protein synthesis and protect you from sarcopenia. Just a small 30-gram serving of Parmesan cheese provides more than 1.5 grams of pure leucine, which is enough to reach the minimum biological threshold needed to stimulate muscle repair. To enjoy its full benefits, try adding freshly grated Parmesan cheese to warm dishes right before serving, such as over roasted vegetables, into your morning omelets, or on top of whole grain bowls. Gently warming the cheese helps release its natural aroma and rich flavor compounds, which can also help stimulate a healthy appetite. Something that many older adults struggle with as they age, and here is the beauty of it. You do not need to eat a massive amount. Just a few tablespoons added to your meals can deliver a meaningful, powerful protein boost without overwhelming your plate or your stomach. Coming up next, our number one food is not something you will find in the dairy aisle or even the fresh meat section. It is rich, dense, and packed with the exact kind of concentrated protein your aging muscles truly crave, yet almost no one over 60 is eating it. 10. Dried fish powder. Made by gently dehydrating clean, lean white fish such as cod or pollock, dried fish powder becomes an incredibly concentrated, pure source of protein once all the water content is completely removed. What is left behind is a fine, shelf-stable powder that contains a staggering 63 grams of protein per 100 grams. Let that number sink in. That is nearly twice the amount found in eggs, far higher than a standard chicken breast, and even superior in purity to many commercial, whey-based fitness supplements. Yet, despite its incredible power, it remains largely unknown and heavily underused, especially among older adults who need it most. The protein in dried fish powder is absorbed by the human body incredibly quickly and efficiently, meaning your muscles can begin using those amino acids almost immediately for cellular repair and growth. A fascinating 2020 clinical study published in Clinical Nutrition followed a group of older adults who consumed dried cod powder daily without changing their existing exercise routines or lifestyles at all. The results: the participants gained an average of 19% more lean muscle mass in just 10 weeks. No expensive pills, no grueling gym routines, just high-quality, highly usable protein. What makes it even more effective is its rich supply of essential amino acids, especially leucine. Research coming out of Harvard shows that the vast majority of older adults do not get nearly enough leucine through their typical daily meals to trigger muscle growth, but just 25 grams of this fish powder provides more than 3 grams of pure leucine, putting you well above the threshold needed to activate muscle protein synthesis. This powder is also incredibly practical. It blends easily into warm soups, comforting stews, mashed vegetables, and even savory oatmeal for a protein-rich morning breakfast. It stores beautifully in the pantry, does not spoil easily, and absolutely does not require any chewing, which makes it an exceptional, safe option for older Adults who may suffer from swallowing difficulties, dental issues, or a naturally low appetite. Just make sure to choose a high-quality, food-grade version at the store with no added salt, artificial flavors, or chemical preservatives, because this is not just a food, it is a highly practical, powerful tool for restoring your physical strength, especially during the years when muscle becomes harder to maintain. Now you know there are incredibly powerful natural protein sources out there that go far, far beyond what eggs can offer, from humble chickpeas and pumpkin seeds, all the way to aged Parmesan and dried fish powder. These foods do not just add numbers to your plate, they actively help you rebuild your physical strength, improve your daily recovery, and protect your long-term independence as you age. Even one small, simple change to your weekly diet can make a profound, meaningful difference in how you feel. Which one of these foods are you excited to try first? Leave a comment down below and let our community know. You might just inspire someone else who needs it to make a healthy change today. Thank you so much for watching this video all the way to the very end. If you found value in this information, please don't forget to like this video, share it with a friend or a loved one who needs to hear it, and subscribe to the Doctor's Insight channel for more science-backed, practical tips to stay strong, healthy, and independent after 60. Remember, aging does not have to mean getting weaker, not at all. With the right daily habits and the right fuel on your plate, you can wake up every single morning feeling stronger, steadier, and more energized. The choice is yours. Have a truly blessed day, and as always, breathe easy, my friend.